tragedy aside, if you're like a black person, if you have loved ones who are undocumented, if you're a brown person, if you are a trans person, or you know trans people, like, oh, because it's 9/11. Oh, Jesus. That's why, right? Okay, I was ready to pop off. But Trump is no. Hold on though. Hold on, because this is still a larger a larger thing, because the president ordered flags to be at half-mast, not because of 9/11, but because of Charlie Kirk. I can't believe we forgot. No, I just, like, Trump ordered it until Sunday, and it was openly not about 9/11 at all. He said it was for Charlie Kirk. He extended it for Charlie Kirk. And no, I didn't forget that it's 9/11 today. I already started the conversation, started today by addressing it. Anyway, my point is, if you're any of these marginalized groups that have been, like, actively dehumanized by Charlie Kirk, or like the right wing broadly, and you see a lot of, like, institutional liberals currently talking about, like, lowering the temperature aside, like, just genuinely talking about the background of Charlie Kirk, and, like, who he was and what he meant to so many Americans, all this stuff, like, you got to feel a little worried, right? You got to feel a little worried that, like, there are just these people just, like, don't give a shit about you at all. Because, like, my expectation isn't for Ezra Klein to come out and be like, R.I.P. Bozo, smoking on that Charlie Kirk pack or some shit, right? Like, that's not my expectation at all. That would be insane, right? And of course, if you're in a position of prominence, you shouldn't do that anyway, right? Because you do have some influence. But the point I'm making is that, like, when you go above and beyond to almost, like, whitewash their perspective and their political output, when this is a political operative, you kind of come across as you're either signing off on their worldview, right? Or you just don't care, right? Like, you either are saying, I like what he was doing, I like what his worldview looks like, or I don't care enough about the dehumanization that he partook in, right? This has got to be, this has got to be a weird moment for a lot of people. I'm in this. I'm too close to the situation for me to look at it as anything but there has definitely been a, when I saw the eulogies coming from CNN and Fox News and how close they were in the language and the verbiage used, like, it kind of frustrated me a little bit. Like, you're supposed to be clear. You're supposed to be honest. There's no reason to be dishonest. And I even tweeted about this earlier as well, and people were obviously screaming bloody murder in my replies in the aftermath of this. But, like, I tweeted two things. I said, shameful for the New York Times obit of Charlie Kirk, says Julia Steinberg. Mr. Kirk was so vocal in his willingness to spread unsupported claims and outright lies. He said that drug hydroxychloroquine was 100% effective in treating the virus, which is not. That Twitter temporarily barred him in early March 2020, but the move only added to his notoriety and seemed to support his claim that he was muzzled by a liberal elite. Now, what's interesting about this is, like, that's the least offensive thing Charlie Kirk had said, right? Like, in terms of distasteful things, in terms of, like, objectively violent statements and dehumanizing rhetoric, like, that's the least offensive thing, right? And I said, this is all but a fraction of Charlie Kirk's honest perspective. He was quite proud of his positions. He defended them vociferously. Not sure why you'd find them distasteful to mention. Can't you paint any person in a bad light? You absolutely can. You absolutely can. But my expectation in this moment is for people to be sober in their analysis and be honest in their analysis, right? Like, my expectation is not for the New York Times to be like, he deserved it or whatever. Obviously, I don't believe that either. But my expectation is for them to, at the very least, reflect a little bit about his positions, because this is the moment where you are introducing Charlie Kirk to a much broader audience. Like, reflect on his real legacy. Matt Walsh said some stuff as well. He said, all Charlie Kirk ever did was have conversations with people. He didn't insult anyone. He made arguments. He debated. He wasn't an extremist in any way. Everyone who knew Charlie personally loved him. That's the kind of guy he was. They still killed him. I'm furious and heartbroken in equal measure. I cannot put into words how I feel. Maybe that is for the best. To which I responded with, Charlie Kirk opposed the Civil Rights Act, called George Floyd a scumbag, said he'd be worried about black pilots, and that he forced his daughter to carry a pregnancy to term if she was. He shouldn't have been killed, but he was definitely an extremist. Like, the problem is, Matt Walsh doesn't think Charlie Kirk's an extremist. And the problem is, most Republicans don't think these positions are extreme positions. Okay? So in a moment like this, when tensions are very high, for mainstream institutions to also launder his reputation or his output and rewrite his legacy after years and years of reflecting on it, after years and years of honest coverage about what he had said, down to the wire, down to the very last moment, I think is disappointing. This is crazy. You think this? You think it's crazy that I think that someone saying that their daughter, if they were in a hypothetical, that you would force them to carry a pregnancy to term is not an extreme position? Go ahead. Have that argument with anyone around the country. There are a lot less people who would agree with that position than there are people who would be repulsed by said position. He has a 10-year-old daughter. Yeah. I can't link Osita Nwanevu's blue sky take for you, but he said, and he is totally correct, and that's what my frustrations are a little bit as well. My sense is that most Americans had not heard of Charlie Kirk until yesterday. The first and perhaps only thing they're going to hear about him from the most trusted and important voices in American politics is that he was a model and constructive participant in good faith political discourse. That's crazy, because when you stake your reputation on a statement such as that one, you're signing off on all of this. You're signing off on all of this, and you're turning around and you're saying to the people that are listening to you that those are a part of the honest political discourse.